So it sounds like you fear dealing with the same problems that you had before you came into rehab, and trying to find coping mechanisms to be able to not just deal with life, but to deal with your husband as well.
And and I feel like, he hasn't said this, but I feel like he is disappointed now in who I am and my inabilities to do the things I used to do. And I don't know if he's really disappointed in me, if I'm making that up. I don't know how to even talk to him about it. I don't know how to address that. I just, I don't know what to do.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how worried are you? Most worried being 10 and least worried being 1 about going home?
9.
9? Okay. Before you came into rehab and before you started having all these kinds of problems that got you into the rehab, how was life for you then?
Oh, it was normal. It was good. It was, an average life. I stayed home, took care of the family. The kids are grown and gone now. It's just me and my husband, and he goes to work and I stay home, and I was cooking and cleaning and grocery shopping and laundry and taking care of all the household things. And now, after the stroke, I just don't have the physical ability to do all that stuff anymore. And it scares me to death to be back in the house and not know who I am anymore. I feel like I'm losing my identity.
I see. How has your husband been coping with everything since you've been away?
Well, he says he's taking care of things, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go home to a sink full of dishes and a lot of dirty clothes piled up. He just doesn't know what to do about all that stuff because I've taken care of it always. We've been married for over 30 years. I do everything, and now I can't. And I don't know how to face him. I feel inadequate now. And I don't even know how I'm going to just take care of my own personal stuff. I can hardly even brush my own hair. So, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have a good support system in the rehab, and you have a lot of group members who have been on your side. Have they been able to encourage you to kind of take this step in some way? Have they explored those areas with you? Have you gotten words of encouragement from your peers?
Yeah, they do, but they're just being nice, I don't think the ones that have physical issues, they might understand more of what I'm going through, but I don't know. I guess they're nice, but I'm not going to have them next to me once I get home, and I don't really know, when you're in the rehab, getting your physical therapy and talking in group about what you've been through, you're with people that get it and understand. And when I go home around friends or family and my husband, well, they don't know what that's like. They're not going to get it. They're not even going to know how to treat me. I don't know how to treat me. I don't know who I am anymore.
Right. In relation to, since the stroke and when you came in and you started getting physically stronger, in what ways were you able to succeed in therapy? Or in the whole process alone, in what ways were you able to succeed?
Well, I did get a lot stronger with using my left arm. I still have trouble. Fortunately, I'm right-handed, so it's okay. But I get very tired now, very easily. It's exhausting. I can do a little more each day with my movement, but I'm so tired that I need to go lay down after I do physical therapy. And if I'm at home, I just can't go and lay down if somebody needs something from me.
Has your husband been in touch with the rehab? Has he, kind of sought out any information, or has the staff been able to talk to him?
I'm not sure. They may have. It's just that every time they come to talk to me about it, I shut down and I just start to cry and I get panicky and I don't want to hear what they have to say about what I have to do after I'm home. And so I just shut down. I just stare at the TV and don't talk.
Okay. How's your self-confidence been since you've been in rehab?
Not good. I used to be very confident. Used to be very proud of how I kept my home and how I, the meals I could cook, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to keep that up now. So I've lost my confidence. I just don't think I could do the things I used to do. I just worried about that.
What things have you been able to do?
Well, I can get dressed by myself. I can do, some grooming stuff. I'm still very nervous about taking showers in case I fall and I can't get myself back up because my whole left side is partially immobile. But, I've learned to dress myself and do some of my beauty routine. But a little bit. Which is okay, I guess.
Have your kids been supportive?
They're so busy and they're off in different parts of the country kind of doing their own thing. They check in now and then, but, they've got their own kids and their own lives, and I don't want to be a burden on them.
Well, I would assume that they have some concern maybe about how you're doing and what's been going on.
They do, and they love me, and I think they do have concerns, but I don't think they truly understand the depth of my issues about how I feel, because I don't really talk about it that much.
If you had an option on how to deal with things at home, in terms of doing things differently than you did before, maybe some alternatives, what are some alternatives that you can probably dive into or you can generate with your husband, in terms of routine and how you get things done?
Well, I think if he could, if somebody could talk to him, because I'm not very good at communicating with him what I'm feeling, but if maybe somebody could talk to him and explain to him that I can't do the things I used to do. And it's not that I'm lazy or I don't want to, I just can't. Maybe he would be understanding if I could get some home help. If somebody could come to the house and help me clean, or maybe pick up my groceries for me. If he could be made to understand that I need help, that I'm not the same, maybe that would make me feel better.
Well, there are options. Now they have like Publix and Walmart, they have these things where you can order groceries online and they can be delivered to you.
That sounds kind of scary. Online?
Yeah.
Like with the computer? I'm not very good with the computer.
I see. Okay.
Maybe I could learn.
Was that something that you'd be interested in?
I think I might be interested in that because, I could communicate more with my kids and definitely my grandkids.
Yeah.
Because all they want to do is this, and I don't do all that. But maybe if someone could teach me how to use my smartphone other than just making phone calls and playing solitaire, that would be good.
Solitaire makes you happy.
Yeah, because, just passes time and it's nobody expects anything. I'm not playing with anyone or against anyone. It's just me and the cards, and there's no expectations there. So
Okay, so just a quick review. Some of the things that we talked about is, you know, your worry about going back home, you know, and kind of getting back in your routine before you had the stroke. And it seems like some alternatives, you know, or some adjustments to going back home that we can do is getting a cleaning lady and learning how to use the computer so you can order groceries online.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are some.
Yeah, that actually would make me feel a lot better. I hadn't thought of that stuff really on my own until you kind of made me start talking about it. I'm not real good at talking myself, but it's.
Well, you're doing a fine job.
But yeah, well, it's easy to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. I think you know, it shows a lot of resiliency to even be open to learning new things and letting a stranger in your home and having her clean or him, and just making adjustments like that so you can feel more comfortable, because I think you're going to be still going to physical therapy. How do you feel about that?
I like physical therapy, and I look forward to it helping me to get full use of my left side back again. I enjoy that physical therapy. The physical therapists are nice.
Okay. How's your diet been to help you kind of combat those, you know, the effects of the stroke, or to try to get healthy again?
Well, they feed us pretty good at the rehab. Not as good as my home cooking once was, but they feed us pretty good. I'm not too interested in eating. I've been a little. Just haven't had much of an appetite, but I think maybe that's just because I was sad about not knowing what to do when I got home. But I think they want to work with me and create a plan for what to do when we get home. I've just been very closed off to that and not wanting to listen because it's too scary.